up, everybody? It's your man Dame DNYDC. Two mics up, season 8. And look, I'm just going to get to it today because, man, we have a powerful actor, who's really emerging, in our opinion. We're big fans. And today he's joining us. And we're going to talk about, some family life and really what it's like in the cut, if you will. So a little bit behind the lights, a little bit behind the action. And we'll dive into, his career a little later on. But sit back and enjoy today's conversation, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you all to, take a moment to say hello to today's amazing guest, our friend, you know, Eme Ikwuakor.
Yeah,
Eme, how are you doing today, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm running around a
Listen,
bit, but I'm not. I'm here. I'm awake. I'm alive. It's beautiful.
hey, look, that's more than half the battle, allowing, the Lord allows us to take a breath each day, open our eyes, and share our talents and our skills with the world. And that's really what you're doing, brother. Like I said, we really feel, you're powerful, you're emerging, and you've really done a lot of work that is to be, recognized, we feel. But before we even get into your work, brother, I
Yeah.
want to start at the beginning. Who is Eme? The person, when he's not performing on screen or sharing his talents with others.
Yeah. Well, right now, I'm living in LA, and especially like right now, it's kind of going to fires, just kind of like really chilling in and embracing with family. I got a little, what is it? He's 19 months now, little 19-month
Wow.
over there. And I'm like, right
Wow.
now, my wife is also 5 months pregnant today, so we're expecting
Wow.
a second.
All
So
right.
it's in LA, and it's just it's a really beautiful thing. You know what I mean? It's when I first came out here in LA and from Denver, Colorado, like you always imagine, like, where's this all going to take me? Like, where's life going to set me down? And like being able to be here in 2025 and having two kids and being able to like work with a lot of people that I watched growing up.
Mm.
It's really kind of a beautiful thing.
That's a blessing, man. And to even go deeper, I mean, like you said, you're starting off 2025, with the little one and one on the way. But we did some digging, and Emmy, you are, as we understand, a triplet,
Yeah,
and one of six siblings on top of
yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
man, talk about it, bro, because I know it had to be a lot going on at home, that influenced you, as a young man. And, and I understand you have Nigerian culture,
Yeah, yeah,
so talk about that.
yeah. For me, I would look first off. Me being a triplet is one of the biggest blessings, but at the same time, I don't know any different. It's like how does it feel being a triplet? It's like I don't know how it is to not.
Right.
So, you have that, but then one of the biggest things actually influenced me. I'm not just going to say me being Nigerian, but it's also like I'm 6'3", like 245 pounds. I'm the
Wow.
small one in my family.
What?
And so, yeah, like,
What?
I got like a brother that's like 6'7", 380, six
What?
feet, 300, 6'5", 240. Like they're just massive. And so we're like
Wow.
the smallest one. So a lot of the times that you had to try to put yourself front and center just to get any attention.
Mm-hmm.
You really had to. And we were triplets growing up. You know what I mean? So we were the youngest ones of the group. So when we were born with us three, I had an older brother that was four. No, it was 3, 4, and a 7-year-old with the triplets. My parents, and there's what was it? So I'm one of six. There's
Uh-huh.
5 boys, 1 girl. My parents had 3 boys. They only wanted a girl, right?
What?
And so when they had the
Wow.
triplets, they got 2 boys and a girl, which was
Look at
beautiful. But
that.
they didn't know they were having triplets until my dad showed up to the hospital and says, "Who's this third baby over there?" And, it's like,
Oh, wow.
and so that for me, when growing up in a big family, and especially a Nigerian family, like you gotta have your personality front and center. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no, you're not gonna be shy. You shy, you not either. You know, just straight up, you're not eating at all. Especially like we're last in line. Like, I'll be honest, most of my day growing up was filled with watching my older brothers play Nintendo for like 15 hours a day. And I had to sneak playing video games at like 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to get in like a half hour. So you just really had to like step out of your comfort zone just to be right.
Wow, look at
You
that.
know, and I think especially with Nigerians, like everybody that is Nigerian, especially the parents, they're like, well, what are you gonna be? You're gonna be a
Mm.
doctor,
Lord, you're gonna be
lawyer,
something. Right, you're gonna be something.
engineer,
Yeah.
something. And so, you know, being able to like break out and go away from that and do acting and having my
Mm.
parents, which usually doesn't happen, that are in full support of it,
Right.
is rare. And it's also kind of beautiful because it was like the
Mm.
first time I actually like paid attention in school.
Yeah.
Was when I got into acting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and my dad was like, "Oh, you actually found something that you love,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and it kind of went from there.
So it's interesting to hear that. Then, so like now, like we've combined it to your upbringing. How much of your upbringing do you feel or do you see is going to really impact your role now as a
Mhm.
father? You have two young ones now that you're going to be responsible for and really laying the foundation. So, how important is what your childhood memories and the foundation you have, that you're bringing down to you and your wife and your family that you're going to build?
Well, you know, my dad. Every single time I just think about him, he's my dad is probably one of the most patient, wonderful, beautiful human beings I've met.
Wow, that's
I've
beautiful.
never. It's weird. Like he went through some hard stuff during our life.
Mm,
And I never
mhm.
heard him complain.
Yeah.
And like, if I'm able to be half the father he is, I would be an amazing father. And that's what I'm
Wow.
basically just trying to live up to. It's just he like it's just tough to talk about because I just have so much respect for the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he had one of six, and I have
Wow.
one of about to be two.
Two.
And
Yeah.
so each time I'm like, I mean, you can't complain about anything. It's like, your dad had and triplets. And I'm like, and he had them before the age of 40, and I just turned 40 this year. And so
Wow.
I'm just like, well, last year.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, you have nothing to complain about.
Hmm.
Nothing. And so with that upbringing, at the end of the day, we want three kids.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, I'll be halfway there and
Yeah.
we're done it. Like we're not
Right.
going past it. We know that. And I don't
Yeah.
want multiple, but I better have singles from now on. And so that just looking at who my father is and who my parents are, it really brings a lot of a calming nature to it all.
Mm.
Right?
Hmm.
Because I can't complain. I literally
Right.
can't.
Right. It's interesting. We look back, at our parents, as like I said, sometimes it's hard to say. Sometimes as bigger than life figures, right? That really help mold us and shape us. And the world is changing. It's definitely changed from. I listen to my parents. Time that they came up, and I look now myself as a parent and the times that I went through. And now I'm looking at, like my daughter. She's about to get married, and the world has changed. If there's one thing, or what would you say is like the most important value that you would look to instill in your children's life in this ever evolving and changing world, that you feel is the most value to them to carry on in their life?
Mine is action.
Mm, mm,
And I think it's because I can't tell you one piece of advice, really, that my dad told me. The main
right.
one that he told me was patience is a virtue. And in the land of the blind, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is. Those are literally like the two phrases he would always say. But it was the fact that my dad, I never saw complain.
Mm,
And it was
mm,
just his actions, his constant actions, the way
yeah.
that I see him interact with other people. And you realize that's what you pick up on as a kid.
Yeah.
we played sports when we were younger. And I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he showed up to all of our games all the time. And early on, I wasn't good. So he's just watching crappy sports for hours. And he's there. And he tried the sports. And he was there. And I think that's it. It's just
Right.
be present. And sometimes your presence is enough.
Man, that's powerful right there. That is so powerful. And that speaks volumes. And I agree. You know, action and presence are probably, I know for me, were two of the most important things uh, coming up. You know, to always be, you know, have meaning in my action, and to always be present in any situation and take ownership of things. And you know, I hear you talk about sports. You know, I look back. You know, I wouldn't say, you know, crappy. I think I was okay at different sports, but you too were an athlete. If I remember correctly, and again, doing some reading, you were heavy, was it track? Uh,
Track,
yeah.
yeah.
So how was that for you? Like, you know, not to say crappy, but was that a passion of yours, or did it become a passion, or was it something that you found as a release, you know, for yourself at that time?
Well, for me, my brother, and my sister, we did track in high school, and
Okay.
we were actually pretty good. Like we all got a scholarship at the exact
All
same
right.
time to the University of Colorado Boulder
Okay.
to do track there.
Mm.
And when when I first started doing sports, I was awful. I was slow. Like I was like maybe not making teams, and then it made me realize like you actually have to work hard to get to this.
Mm,
And for me, I value sports more than anything else. And the reason why is because sports is the thing that really gave us the opportunity to get a higher education. That's really
true.
what it is. I didn't
True.
get good grades in high school,
Mm,
like at
mm,
all.
mm-hmm.
I did the whole trajectory. There's like this whole like proximity based on your GPA and your ACT scores at the time. You can
Right.
get into this type of thing, and I couldn't even get into a community college. It was bad. It was bad.
Wow. Wow.
But me doing sports and being good at that gave me the opportunity to get into college.
Mm,
And look, I did college for a year. I did sports for track for a year. Basically, what happened was me, my brother, and my sister, we got recruited to the University of Colorado Boulder for track. And the guy that was showing us around, he was just like, all right, so here's the weight room. You get to work out here. And then also at the same time, we're going to put you on this eating plan, and I'm going to be a coach. It's going to be great. But then there's a head coach. And the head coach,
mm,
we hated it. We did not like him at all.
wow.
But he's like, but don't worry about it because you're going to be working with me. So we sign our letter of intent. First day of practice, we show up. The coach that was showing me around, I don't see him anymore.
Oh, wow.
And the guy who was saying that we were going to get all of these things, he was actually, I think he was a head weightlifting trainer there at CU. And he said, oh, yeah, that guy that was showing you around, he was actually fired the entire time he was showing you around.
Oh, look.
Oh, yeah, and
What?
that thing about the eating plan that you get, that was a lie. Oh, yeah, and that weight room that you get to use, oh, yeah, that was also a lie. But you already signed
What?
your letter of intent, so what are you going to do about it?
Oh,
So
what?
right away, I'm just like, oh. And one of my biggest things is I am just anti-authority.
Mm.
Like it's just that you tell me something that's screwing me over, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. It's just not.
What? Look,
And
it's crazy.
so I did the first year of track, got kicked off the team, and then I had to find something different. And
It's
then I
crazy.
found something different, and this is where I just believe faith and just
Mm-hmm.
time can come out.
Yeah.
I met with my advisor once, ever, and I was going to go into sports marketing. And as I'm talking with her, just in the middle, she's like, "You should do acting." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I want to do the sports marketing thing over there."
Right.
And I kept pushing on sports marketing that I wanted to do.
Right.
And she's just like, yeah, but in sports marketing, you might have to like sell yourself. So acting can help you do that. And I'm like,
Mm.
no,
Mm.
stop. And finally, she gets to a point and she's like, you need a 3.0 grade to be in the sports marketing as a sports marketing major, and you have a 2.0. And I was like, oh. And I was like, what's the GPA for acting? You don't need it.
Need GPA. I love it. I
And
love
so
it.
that night, I go to a party and I meet this girl, and I thought she was cute.
Mhm.
And, and I asked her, I was like, what is your major? And she says, I'm a theater major. And I
Mm.
was like, I'm a theater major as well. Major, a theater major the next day. Like literally, the whole thing was,
Literally.
you need to do this thing and
Wow.
do it. And
Wow.
so that's actually how I actually became and started doing acting to begin with. It was just by being literally forced into it and by chance and by timing.
Man, look at that. Look, I mean, look, things, happen the way that they're supposed to. And look, I'm happy. We're happy. The
Yeah.
audience is happy that you took upon that mantle, if you will, to jump into acting. And before we really dive into your career, I want to take a short pause for the cause and thank our sponsors, who have really been supportive of us here at Two Mics Up. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
94 Media House specializes in transformative digital design that elevates your brand to new heights. Whether you need stunning graphic design, impactful branding, or a captivating web presence, our team is here to bring your vision to life. Join the ranks of successful businesses that trust 94 Media House for their digital design needs. Let's make your brand unforgettable. Contact us today.
Experience unforgettable memories with Riddick Entertainment and Events, the premier event planners in Northern Virginia. We specialize in crafting extraordinary weddings and events tailored to your vision. Led by the husband and wife team of Saeed and Michelle Riddick, we ensure your special day is stress-free and memorable. Don't leave your memories to chance. Let Riddick Entertainment help you create lasting moments. Contact us today to start planning your unforgettable event.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, fresh out the break, we're back with the incredibly amazing actor, Eme Ikwuakor. He has been blessing us with his family life and how he got into acting. And I don't know how you got to this point, but you need to go back to the beginning and really catch that first half. But we're about to dive in with Eme, and we're going to talk about it, man, because you talked about how you got into acting. And one of the first pieces, that I remember seeing you in, I believe it was Ink.
Mm.
And then, you transitioned to another. This was kind of like a powerhouse movie, I think, because we see you with some a little more established, hitters, if you will, with Holly Berry on Moonfall, which was a great, phenomenal movie. But what was it like? Was that like your, I don't want to say your aha moment, but like, it has to be a point where you really start to realize for yourself that what you're making it. You're starting to make your mark and really leave, your mark on the industry. And I'm just curious to know, like, what was it like working on, Moonfall with Holly Berry and Patrick Wilson?
Well, that one with Moonfall was in the middle of COVID.
What?
And
Really?
so literally it was 2020, December of
Really?
2020. So it was tricky because a lot of it was isolation based. So a
Mm.
lot of my stuff with even like Hallie, she got done shooting the day before I started shooting.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so a lot of the building of even the character, even everything what it was kind of away from Allie and away from my kid
Oh, wow.
because everything was isolated. So
Mm.
her last day, I came in a day early and I read my lines with her. It was like one of the phone call scenes with her.
Mm-hmm.
And funny thing is, I actually worked on her on a previous project called Extant.
Mm.
And we made a joke when we first got there because it's like, at some point, we're going to be able to like shoot a scene together because COVID, we weren't able to actually do that. So if you notice, a lot of stuff that I'm doing is actually
Mm-hmm.
we had a reader who was on who I read lines with.
Oh, okay.
So, and so it's
Wow.
like I got to meet her, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
actually see Wilson the entire time I was
Really?
shooting. I kept until the premiere. Like a lot of my stuff was like blocked away in a bunker
Wow.
in the middle of COVID, and
That's
so
crazy.
it was actually I think it was the first project that I actually shot in COVID, and it was tricky because it was just really kind of isolating.
Wow.
Because it's like
Interesting.
but again, it was because of the times.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, the times were we have to make sure that this does not spread if anybody has it
Yeah.
across the set.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it, you had masks on, you had like little blocked off cubicles.
Mm.
There's a lot of it. But again, at the end of the day, working with Roland and working with that team,
That was a great piece of work.
it was beautiful. And I think
It
for
was.
me, it's one of the reasons I'm even in this industry is because of films like Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
And had Will Smith on my wall, and watching that and just really having
Wow.
vision for working with Roland, and especially being able to work with Roland even in the past, you realize, oh my God, I'm like this kid playing grown up.
Right.
And I'm getting to interact with people that I used to watch.
It's crazy.
And now you're not just people that I'm watching on the screen, you're now my colleagues.
Mm.
Still to this day, I'm still pinching myself.
Look at that.
I've been able to work with people that I saw and now becoming friends with. It's again, and then you said something about like at what point do you feel that you've made it? I don't. I don't know if I ever will. Like this arrived moment. I was at the store yesterday and somebody comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, do you know who you are?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're just like, "Oh," he's like, "Thanks for watching my stuff." He's like, "Do people know who you are?" I was like, "Oh, I don't realize." I just feel like at the end of the day, it's like I'm just trying to like make, you know what I mean? And I love what I get to do, but at the end of the day, I also realize, hey, Eme, the last 16 years, you've built up zero other abilities to do. It doesn't matter if you like it anymore. You gotta do it. It doesn't matter.
I love that. I love that, man. You're just a regular guy. You're a very humble guy, and really comes through because I still sound like you two are a little kid that's a fan, and you're a kid in the candy store, and you just have a blessing that like you said, you've watched these people growing up and coming up. Now they are your coworkers and friends, and it makes me think back because really like Ink was described as critically acclaimed and it was breakout role. Like, yeah, talk about it because I see it already. It's touching you. Like, talk about that moment in that project.
Well, for me, Ink was a Colorado film, and to me, I still watch this film, Ink, once a year. I still watch that film. I think it's one of the most beautiful stories, one of the most beautiful. I think it's still to this day one of the most beautiful projects ever done. And a lot of people don't know. There's like this little cult following that followed behind it, but it was just. Right. It was literally like right when I got my agent in Colorado, and it changed the way that I looked at filmmaking. That the director wrote, directed, edited, composed, all of it. And it's the reason I got into like different things like writing, directing, different stuff like that, to be like, oh yeah, I want to be able to do all of these things to somehow contribute to this art form. And the messaging, and especially now being a father and watching that movie, it's just, it touches me. Like Ink was the movie that made me realize, okay, I've done everything I could possibly do in Colorado, and I've been able to feel a level of success here. And now I know that if I go to LA, I know the steps. Like I know the steps of what it's supposed to feel like. And it won't be shocking. Like I'll know where I am. And that Ink for me really set up where I am in now in Los Angeles. Because I felt level of success and I felt what that was like.
Right.
To not be able to do anything more at that level.
That's powerful.
And then now go to LA and be like, oh, you just have to do that same thing again.
That's powerful. That's powerful, man.
Ink is beautiful. Ink is one. Ink, it's you never hear this. Ink, a low budget film that was made for $250,000 in Colorado, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Not to do. Yes, it was to do, but to watch.
To watch. Yeah.
It's one of my top 10 favorite movies. Is Ink.
Wow. It was definitely it was beautiful. It was. I mean, it really, like I said, critically acclaimed. It brought, like I said, just the beauty of it and the strength and the power of it. I would suggest anyone, who's watching and listening to Eme talk about it, go out and watch it yourself, and let us know what you think, man. Send us some comments. Let Eme know, because we're gonna make sure that you guys go out and follow him. And let them know, because it was really super dope. And those are just some of the things that we have time to talk about today. Because I mean, we've seen him in Inhumans, Hawaii 5-0, Castle. We can go on and on and on and on. But I do have to ask, as we're coming towards the end of today's, I mean, time flies. A great conversation, Eme. What's next for you? What do you have anything on the books? Anything that you can share, or any projects that you're working on?
Yeah, well, right now I'm on Matlock, and Matlock has been doing really well. It's on CBS with such an incredible cast. We've got Kathy Bates, Sky Marshall, Lee Lewis, David Del Rio, Jason Ritter. Well, there's just a bunch of people that are just so incredibly talented. With Sherwin and Jim Snyder, I could just go down the list, and it's been an absolutely beautiful process. And right now, they're just about to air the 9th episode next Thursday on CBS at 9 p.m. And it's crazy because I remember watching Matlock as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're like part of the cast of this show.
Yep.
Again, one of my nerdy things that I do is I study like civil law on my own. So like now, and my brother's also like a lawyer as well, so to do my like second hobby. Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's really cool.
That is.
Well, I was like, Eme, you love to debate. I know. Now I get to do it.
Now you get to do it. Yeah, I love it, man. I just love how all of the pieces of just having this little bit of time, man, to really get to know you. All of the pieces of life are aligning for you, and that's why we here too, Mike. Man, we want to wish you nothing but continued success. You are a favorite of ours here at our home. In our home, man, you're just a powerful actor, and you really bring your characters to life on the big and small screen, man. And continue success. And before you go, though, I want to make sure I give you opportunity. I want our fans to get out and our audience to get out behind you, man. Where can we find you on social media so that we can go ahead and support you and the work that you're doing?
The only one I'm really on, honestly, is Instagram. And just say like @Ikwuakor. That's the main one. It's funny, like I'm on it, but I'm not like on it. Like I be honest, like I love the work, and I kind of also like my private stuff. A lot of stuff is like, what are you promoting out there? Like a lot of times you see me promoting, I'm just sharing somebody else's thing that they posted and tagged. But like, yeah, follow. But at the end of the day, it's like I enjoy family time. I enjoy time with friends. And, you come up and follow, and sometimes you could see some that I reposted that somebody else shared.
He likes to keep it nice and simple, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible actor, man. Humble human being. Really love the energy. Eme Ikwuakor, huge fan, man. Continued success. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another fabulous episode of Two Mics Up. Like we do at the end of each and every show, I'm going to ask you all to do a couple of things. May you all stay safe, stay blessed. Mics out.
Mics out.
007.